Policing and justice, the other big thorny issue. There's no date yet for its devolution, but there is apparently only one party being considered for the job of Justice Minister, Alliance. Problem is, their leader isn't happy with current proposals that would allow the First and Deputy First Minister to sack the new Justice Minister. Party activists gathered for an early annual conference yesterday. Despite the concerns, it appears that the party that once styled itself the official opposition could now be preparing for government. Stephen Walker was there.
Political conferences are normally autumnal affairs, so the Alliance spring gathering seemed slightly out of season, particularly since their members had met late last year.
You could be forgiven for thinking that Alliance Party conferences are a bit like buses. You wait all year for one, and then suddenly two come at once. After all, this is the second time in 7 months that party activists have come together.
The surroundings to party leader David Ford may have seemed familiar, but this time inside the conference hall, the mood was sombre. 2 weeks since the Masserine murders, much of his keynote address was taken up by the dissident attacks. And he had praised for the way his fellow politicians, particularly the First and Deputy First Minister, had reacted to the murders.
When Peter Robinson responded to the killers, he chose to speak for everyone in Northern Ireland who was angry to see their dreams of peace shattered in a pool of blood on the streets of Antrim. He spoke for everyone, regardless of religion or background or national identity.
According to David Ford, such political harmony should be used to quash those behind recent attacks.
We must harness the spirit of unity to neuter the dissident threat. The full force of the police must bear down on the paramilitary microgroups, and politicians across the political spectrum must continue to give support to that.
They seemed appropriate words from a man who could soon become Northern Ireland's Justice Minister. But the party are being coy on whether they will take up the new portfolio and who their nominee would be. They insist that any new position must have the same rights as other executive members. They're particularly worried that this new minister could be sacked at the whim of the First and Deputy First Minister.
Any minister can't simply be a puppet for the First Minister and Deputy First Minister. They have to be able to take tough decisions and know that they will be supported politically in doing so. I won't be looking over their shoulder. And we can't have a substandard department. We need a proper department where a minister can actually do what's in the interest of the justice system and the wider interest of the community as a whole.
Would you like to be Justice Minister?
Well, there's a lot of speculation over names that the media are engaging in. At the moment, it's no more than an interesting parlour game. It's not. The main focus at the moment has to be on the job itself and getting everything right.
But should the party at least signal that it was prepared to accept the justice portfolio?
Until it's yes, it's not yes, I would say. I wouldn't want to be negative about it, but no, there are still some issues to be talked about, and there's still some answers to be found.
Could you see a scenario where the Alliance says no?
I could.
At grassroots level, it seems opinion is divided.
We can't wait for the devolution of policing and justice. We need to get on with it.
So you would like your party leader to say yes now?
I would encourage my party leader to say yes now.
I do think, yes, this is a very opportune moment for that post to be taken by Alliance, if the Alliance were to so choose, yes.
I still think there are certain political issues and realities that have to be faced and have to be addressed before Alliance could consider taking the post.
Basically, you have to ask yourself, when is there ever a right time? Someone has to say, right, that's go, and now is the right time.
It'll be a year before delegates meet again. Perhaps then they'll get a keynote address from their own Justice Minister.